Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Potter and Hellions, and welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. Today, it's BB, and I'm your host. And at the table this morning, I am joined by
Steve
and
BC.
And behind the keys,
Dylan.
Wake up, everybody.
Wake up. This is probably one of the earliest shows we're recording. It's 8:30 Sunday morning, December 19th?
19th.
Yep.
So, boy, oh boy, but thank you for listening, Hellions, as always. You know, interacting with us online is fantastic. Sharing our stuff is even better. Giving us a review on Apple Music. Get us out there with our other podcast brothers and sisters, releasing some of the same familiar stuff that we are releasing. Before we get into this crazy birthday episode, what have you been doing, BC? Besides looking a little rough. BC was partying last night.
Went to Philadelphia area yesterday, a little gun show, and came back a little Crown Royal. So that's how my night went.
Nice. I know it's only been a couple days since we recorded, but Dylan, what's going on with you?
Oh, not too much. Just waking up earlier on a Sunday than I normally do.
Yes, righty. What's
Nothing.
up with you, Captain?
Nothing. Just got out of work, and I'll be going back to work in another 11 and a half hours for another 24 hours. But other than that, nothing. A little chilly day up here in Pennsylvania. Good to see everybody so early in the morning here. Everyone is, well, I'm smiling.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I got not much wrapping presents. Got a Christmas present early. I got a Nordic bike, so I put that together yesterday and
I'll be down.
zoomed around the streets of Venice Beach yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Really cool, really cool.
Any hotties on rollerblades?
Yeah, they did show a bunch
Oh, yeah?
in bathing suits and on the beach. And
I'll definitely be down.
yeah.
Kramer was there, and
Kramer is there.
yeah, at least it wasn't a Peloton, so that you don't die
No.
like Mr. Big did in the new Sex and the City show.
Now you ruined it for me. I didn't watch
Yeah,
that.
sorry,
Oh
sorry.
man. Oh well. Well, that frees up some time.
Yet. There you go.
All right, so let's talk about our last episode. The VMAs. Dylan does an amazing job with that, and Wrighty was the big winner with our Moon Man Funko Pop sitting over there in the podcast layer. But Dylan, as many times as we said it, thank you so much for doing that, and it's always one of those great times that we put together. It's always a highlight, and when we do our year in review for our podcast, this is always everybody's top 5. So, thank you. And how do you think we did?
I thought it was an interesting episode with some of the music videos. I don't think they were some of my favorites. I mean, I really enjoyed the Foo Fighters Foo Fighters music video, and the Aerosmith videos were pretty fun, but it wasn't a great decade for hard rock, heavy metal for me, because you were starting to get into the new metal, and some of the videos were just kind of there, not really anything exciting going on. But it was fun looking at the other music that was popular in that era. Seeing Ricky Martin have all the wins, and Madonna, and very interesting lineup of music. And it was cool to have to do a tiebreaker to determine the winner, because you guys were so neck and neck throughout the episode. So that was fun too.
Nice. BC, I know you were on assignment that night.
I was with the organizers of M3 finalizing the contract for Lizzie Borden to perform this year there. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, then that was definitely more
it
important.
took 13 years, but
We finally got him. Good job. It's about time you stepped up and did some work.
Yeah, way to go.
And the big winner, Righty, what'd you think, buddy?
it was fun. I enjoyed it, but it was weird because there were so many videos that were just not fun.
Yeah.
In the the years before, like it was mostly like like the really, I think maybe the most serious video that we had on the episodes before was Janie's Got a Gun from Aerosmith, but I mean that was like a mini movie. But like the Marilyn Manson and the stuff like that, the Korn, they were really dark, and it was cool to at least Aerosmith threw some fun in there. And still not sure why Dave Matthews Band was in there. Don't know. And BC, I apologize because I meant to get your guesses off of you, and I totally forgot about it. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jump ahead in time because we've already recorded our final end of the year show. We recorded that the other day. And I was going through my notes yesterday, and I realized that I forgot to thank Aaron Martell. I'm pretty sure I did. Everyone's shaking their head. I'm shaking my head. And because I was doing the schedule for next year, and I texted him to do an episode with us, and I'm like, holy fuck, I don't remember thanking him. So, Aaron, if I did not thank you on next week's episode, I'm thanking you now for coming on. He did the Iron Maiden draft with us, and
so now he's the first person.
He's the
first person thanked. So, and I appreciate it. Give the Ridiculous Rock Record Review podcast a check out. Him, Mike Cordes, Ray Permy.
A couple of us are on a few episodes.
We are. Dylan did an episode with them. I did. We got to get BC and BB on there, and I know we have another maiden episode coming up with Aaron next year. So, Aaron, thank you, and sorry, and if I didn't miss you, then you get an extra shout out.
Yeah, there you go.
But it was fun doing the VMAs, and I got to say for the VMAs next year, I think all of our guesses need to be secret ballot. So there's no. Well, I was going to pick that, but because we had some of that, so if we just write them down and then just hand them to Dylan, he could open them up, and then we can do it that way. So it'll be a little more.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Well, I'm going to say we're probably running out of years.
I was going to say it's going to be getting different.
Could be getting tight.
But
well, there's none of them coming up in the
well.
next couple.
Oh yeah, the Grammys.
Yeah, there's none of them
we
coming
go
up
back
for the next couple months. So we're good for a while.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, that's one of my favorites when Dylan does those VMAs, and it's always great to actually get back and looking at old videos. But like I said in that episode, I don't remember seeing hardly any of those videos. I think I remember Marilyn Manson, Beautiful People, and that was really it. But back in then, you really weren't sitting watching MTV back in the later '90s.
Yeah. See, here's a kind of a sneak preview to some of the artists that we have to look forward to in 2000 for Best Rock Video. Limp Bizkit again, Kid Rock, Creed, Korn, Metallica, and Rage Against the Machine. So there you go.
All your favorite bands.
So maybe next December we will be revisiting that, perhaps.
Fun times.
That's funny. Steve will be throwing in a vacation day for that day.
I hope it's that band Korn with a C.
Yeah, there you go. And it's the Creed music video where he's rowing down the river with like the lion or whatever.
That is horrible. Didn't someone pick that video?
Yeah, I picked it for one of the worst videos.
The worst videos. I remember we did a video when I'm like, I remember that now.
Video.
Yeah. Oh god, the song sucks too.
Oh
man.
All right.
Ooh. But on better notes, let's get into what we're listening to. So, Steve, what do you got for us?
The other day, I was in the mood for some Saxon, so I busted out the vinyl. The other night, I was here. I had some time to just kind of do nothing and just put some stuff on. So I started with the first Saxon album, which is not great. I gotta say, I did not really enjoy that album too much. And the thing that got me about that was like. The very first, like if 1980, if you pick up 80 or 79 when the album came out, if you see, that album looks cool, the logo looks cool, it's got the Viking dude on there, and then you drop the needle and the first song that's on that you hear of Saxon is Frozen Rainbow, I don't know if I would have bought another album after that, with that being the first song from them. The song's okay, but like, it's not an opening track. It's not like this shouldn't be like, here's what our band is going to be, Frozen Rainbow. I'd be like, what the fuck? But it does get better. I got up to Power and the Glory, and there's some really good stuff there. Once you get past that first album, the shift between the first and second album are it's just amazing transition. I think it's like almost like two different bands. You kind of have the same tone and stuff, the vocals, but song wise, once you get past that first album, then you get into the Saxon that we know and love, that are still putting out stuff. And what actually sparked that was that I pre-ordered the new Saxon album, Carpe Diem. It's supposed to come out, I think, maybe while we're on the Monsters of Rock cruise. I think it comes out BC that Friday. So that's kind of what sparked me to just go back and go through the catalog. So old Saxon.
Nice. Dylan.
Well, because of one of the albums that we listened to today for your birthday, I decided to listen to some other live stuff from some of the artists that were featured. So I listened to Chickenfoot's Best Plus Live, featuring, of course, Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony, Chad Smith, and Joe Satriani. Really cool, some really cool stuff from their albums. You know, it's cool to hear My Kind of Girl and Down the Drain. They do a good cover of Highway Star. You know, that's always a classic. So it's a fun little. You know, the first half is a greatest hits, plus like a new song. I think Divine Termination, I think, was a new song released for that greatest hits thing. But then the second half is all live stuff, which was really cool. So definitely check that out if you haven't. Best Plus Live, Chickenfoot.
Great band.
Cool.
I love Chickenfoot.
Love it. BC, when you're not chasing guns and drinking Crown, what are you listening to these days?
Getting ready for this episode, I was listening to something you were listening to, and it brought me back to a different album, so I had to go and check out the Vince Neil Exposed again. And
Fucking awesome.
We'll talk like that. I mean, I love that album front to back. It didn't. God love him. He's not there anymore.
He's not doing so well.
Actually, and it's funny because there's technically two connections tonight with because Vince Neil does get name checked in a song in one of the other albums, in addition to the bigger connection of
He does?
yeah. I'll put it out.
Okay.
I think BB knows what I'm talking about.
And I am listening to the debut album of Last in Line, Heavy Crown. I think the actual title track, Heavy Crown, came in the rotation of my playlist on my phone. I'm like, man, I haven't listened to that in a while. So listened to this yesterday while I was putting that bike together. Great stuff. You know, another great super group out there. So that's what I have. I have Last in Line, Heavy Crown. BC's got the Vince Neil Exposed. Dylan's got a little Chickenfoot, Best Plus Live. And Wrighty is spinning some old vinyl Saxon. So that's what we got going on our list of what we're listening to. So check those things out. Check those albums out. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good music, a lot of good musicians, mentioned right there. So let's get into the episode. Since it seems like I'm going to be doing a lot of talking here,
Take a swig.
Of course, it's my birthday episode. And what we would like to do around here at our birthday episode, we always pick 3 studio albums and a live album. So I wanted to kind of do something a little crazy, a little different, something that we really haven't talked about on the podcast. So I kind of pulled this one album out of air, in a way. Really good stuff because I only knew one song off this album. The album is called Atomic Playboys from Steve Stevens. Everybody knows him as the guitar player for Billy Idol. This album was released in 1989. It was recorded in New York City. It is 50 minutes and 17 minutes long, released from the Warner Brother Records. And Steve Stevens and the man Ted Templeton are the producers on this. Steve Stevens does the lead vocals, guitar, does some bass work in the production on this. Perry McCarthy is the lead vocalist. And if you guys out there have scratched your head and said, Perry McCarthy, who is that guy? He is the lead singer off the just unearthed Rough Cut album. So check that out. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be released on a
Yeah, I don't know. I
any
think it might
type
be just
of
demos or something.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's going to be released, but you'll have to check that out. Really, really, really good vocalist. On the keyboards, we got Phil Ashley. Tommy Price does the drums. Anton Fig does some drums on 2 of the songs. And some amazing background vocalists we have on this album are Paul and Nate Winger. So I wonder if they're related to Kip. I wonder if they're
related
cousins.
to John Winger from Stripes.
Oh, yeah. But let's get into the album. Starts off with Atomic Playboys. This is probably Steve's biggest song ever and probably always will be. Big vocals in this song, big drums, crazy guitar work when you're talking about Steve Stevens. Definitely some crazy guitar work from him. Great opening song. Probably the best song on the album. Definitely carries it. Song number 2 is Power of Suggestion. This is like a big band jazz swing song. Definitely different. Doesn't really fit the album that well. There's some horn sections in there. There's some female background vocalists, which are really, really cool. Very short solo that sounds pretty much like a B.B. King solo. But it doesn't fit the album, but it is kind of super cool. You hear like a little heavy guitar work with these horns mixed in. Just a different kind of song. Like I said, it's not the greatest that fits the album. Song number 3 is Action. This is very like very theatrical song, almost like a Queen-like song. Good keyboard, guitar parts in it, which I love. So there's a really awesome, cool time change right before the solo, and the outro solo is just like amazing. Song number 4, Desperate Heart. It's a slow song with some emotional vocals. Very slow guitar playing, which is kind of cool how it fits the song. And the keyboards on this is really, really good. Song number 5, Soul on Ice. This is a faster rocker song. It has more great vocals. And this solo on this song is just sick bananas for me. He even does like some kind. He makes like a laser gun sound with this solo, which is really, really cool. So check that out. If you don't check this album, at least check the solo out on Soul on Ice. It's really, really good. Song number 6, Crackdown. Got some loud vocals in this one. Great sounding rocking tune. Some big screaming vocals as well. More cool keyboard guitar parts on this, and then another great outro solo. Really good rocking song. Song number 7, Pet the Hot Kitty.
What's that about?
I don't know. It's another great rock song with a heavy guitar work, some big loud drums, and some very fun lyrics. Almost like another band we may talk about later. Song number 8, Evening Eye. This song is more of the big band stuff like I was talking about with the Power of Suggestion. Has like the more of a jazzy bluesy feel to it. Some more horns and some bongos in there as well. And just like the Power of Suggestion, it just seems like those 2 songs are just don't quite fit the album for me. Song number 9, Woman of 1,000 Years. Steve Stevens actually sings this song. He takes the vocal reins over on this one. Another great rocking song, more great guitar work. The drums are really good in it. So and that was kind of a surprise for me. I didn't even know that he actually sang. But since it's his album, might as well throw song number 9 in there, deep in the album, and let him sing it. Song number 10, Run Across the Desert Sands. This is an instrumental song. I don't know why you put an instrumental song at song 10, but we'll take it. And to close out the album, song number 11, Slipping into Fiction. Great closer. It's a fast rocker. Once again, more great guitar work, some really cool keyboard parts. And there's a couple cool parts during the solo. He does like a start-stop type thing. So, like I said, it's a kind of a very good closer for this album. So this is probably the most intriguing album. I'm waiting to see what you guys say about this. So, Steve, what do you think?
All right,
Steve. Here we go.
Atomic Playboys. I was familiar with this, this band, if you want to call it a band, and this album, whatever, because Steve Stevens, of course, you know him from Billy Idol stuff, and I didn't know what to expect when I listened to this album years ago. I haven't listened to it again until we were ramping up for this episode. It's kind of all over the place for me a little bit in parts. It starts out with Atomic Playboys, a cool air raid siren, and it's got like the clip of the guy, and like the guy says whatever, Atomic Playboy, and it kind of echoes, which is kind of a cool. And then you get that patented that video game type Steve Stevens thing, like right in the beginning there, which is cool. The guitars are crisp and choppy. There's times this guy, when he sings, you definitely get a Billy Idol feel when he sings like in a lower register. You get that you get that kind of that Billy Idol kind of feel for it. The background it kicks up like for the background singing for the chorus is cool. There's some cool lead fills here and there. It kicks down a little bit leading up to the solo. The solo friggin' rips on this one. He hit it really great here. I think he really had to have a ripping solo for the opening song. I think that he hit it out of the park on this one because listen to the solo for Rebel Yell and you get that video game thing in that, and I think he needed that in the first song here, and I think he came through really good with that. Good start. Power Suggestion. This is the time of the that time when everybody was putting horns in their shit. Motley Crue was, and Aerosmith and all that stuff. And it's got some bluesy fills here and there. It's got like a funk, and it's got the female background singers. The song seems out of place after the first song. I think it kind of takes a little left there. It's decent enough, but it's strange as a second song. I think it might have fit a little better deeper in the album maybe. I do like the solo, but the solo for me the song kind of reminds me of a song that you would hear from the Brian Setzer Orchestra. You get that kind of. I think you get that Brian Setzer kind of feel for, which is cool. Which I'm not saying that is a bad thing. Action, the cover of the Sweet song that's been covered to death. Another song that is like I'm like, ugh. And the solo was kind of underwhelming on this one, which I think he could have really sparked up this version with a really good solo. The outro solo is pretty good, but the main solo in the song, I think he really could have did a lot better on that one. Desperate Heat. Is it Desperate Heat or Desperate
Heart?
Is it?
Oh wait, did I write it down wrong?
I have Desperate Heat. I don't know. It might be Heart. I don't know.
It's Desperate Heart.
Desperate Heart. Okay, that's my not paying attention or typing.
Well, you can't even blame your handwriting because
I can't. I actually typed this one out. It's a slow song. It's okay. It's got a decent melodic solo and it kind of forgettable for me. Soul on Ice. This song, BB, you were totally right. This song fucking rocks. Great pace of the verses. There's a really cool bass part right before the solo, and then this is the kind of solo that you want from Steve Stevens. Like BC talked about Vincent Exposed. You get a lot of that soloing on that album, and you get it on this song here. Ripping, it's got the video game sounds in it, kick-ass shredding on that one. Crackdown, cool groove. This one could absolutely be a Billy Idol song. It has kind of a little electronica kind of feel to it. I do like this one. This could be a playlist song for me. This is probably one of my favorites on this album. The drums are good on this one. The solo though is kind of lost in the mix on this one. I don't know what they did on the solo for this one. It's a weird ending to it too. But I do like the song. Pet the Hot Kitty. Good sleazy start. I love the vocals. I love the line, she's a real trouser rouser. I burst out laughing when I fucking heard that. The gang vocals for the chorus are really cool. The song is good, but it tries a little too hard to be that sleaze. You know what I mean? So now we're like into our third type of song on this album already. Like 3 different kind of genres of music within, which is fine, but it's kind of just all over the place.
Already, yeah.
And Evening Eye. Now that you have a jazz song, so now you got number 4 of type thing here. But I really like this song. I love the feel of it. It just hit me good. I don't know if I was just like so like, where's this album going now? Like boom, totally different direction again. The good fitting solo. It's and the thing on this album too that kind of got me. You're Steve Stevens. You're known for that. Like the solos are really short on this album. I think they could have stretched them out a couple more bars for each solo because you're kind of getting into it and then it's over. I'm like, dude. But this kicks up like halfway through. It's got some really cool melodic shredding solo in it. I do like the song. I think it's really good. It's different. It's probably the one on this album that I like the most. That is different, like the most different one. But it's my favorite of the different ones. Woman of 1,000 Years, cool weird beginning, more Billy Idol-like song. It has a good build to it. I like when it kicks in. There's a raspy quality to the vocals on this one once you get past like the Billy Idol type feel on it. Good groove going on here. The solo's cool, but again, too short. Run Across the Desert, instrumental, slow acoustic starts. For about the first minute, then you get a cool keyboard and bass thing going on there. The song, then the playing, it like kind of builds up, kicks up. It's pretty cool, but I'm not sure if we need a 4-minute instrumental song on this album. You know what I mean? I know, how these guys are with their stuff, but I think it was unnecessary. Slipping into Fiction, back to a good up-tempo song, good rocker to end the album with. Not much stands out on this song. It's solid. There's sort of a breakdown, a little spoken word at the end leading up to the solo. The solo's really good. It picks up like halfway through. The solo definitely kicks up this song a couple notches. Good album, not great. I think it's just kind of all over the place at parts, but there's some really good playing on there. Like I said, this is Steve Stevens' thing. He should have been showcasing his fucking guitar playing on this album. Just like the solos that are good are really good, but they're like short. I'm like, it leaves you wanting more like soloing from him because he's fantastic. If you want to hear way better playing for Steve Stevens, go to the Vincent Exposed album because he fucking tears it up on there. Good pick, different pick.
Yeah, different. Dylan, what'd you think?
I had not heard. I think I had only heard one of the albums that we're going to be talking about tonight, and this was not the album that I had heard. Of course, I knew Steve Stevens from, his work with Billy Idol. He's basically like the Richie Sambora to Billy Idol's Bon Jovi for me, like where. They're like the match made in heaven. Like the good work is with those two, and like whenever he's not there, I'm not into it. So I was excited to listen to this, and of course he's really good on Vincent Exposed. And I really like the album cover because it's H.R. Giger, who of course designed like a lot of stuff for Alien. He has like weird, crazy work. So it's really cool that he got H.R. Giger to do the album cover. Let me tell you, I loved this album. I thought it was great. I was very, very much loving how 80s it was, even though it's like right at the end of the 80s. But like it feels like a fun album. I just had a great time. Like the songs that were different, like Power of Suggestion and Pet the Hot Kitty, where like we go off on kind of a different part. I really enjoyed that. I thought that the horns were real fun. I really loved just. Great feel to it. It just had a good time. It just felt like a good time, and I think that this was a real big surprise for me. I really liked the opening track. I thought that was great. Power of Suggestion. I just love how different it was compared to the first track. You're just like, oh, this is a completely different feel from the first track, but it's a feel that I still like. And Soul on Ice, that kicks ass. Great song. I think Slipping Into Fiction was a fantastic closer. The only song that I would really do without is probably Run Across Desert Sands, just because it takes so long to just do like a little instrumental part. Yeah. But was it Evening Eye that was like kind of the jazzy? Yeah. And then I love that.
That was great. Cool. I love that song.
Like that was so cool to have that. Like you're like in a nightclub and the smoke is at the bar, but then it kind of kicks in towards the middle to end of the song. And this was just a really fun album. I really enjoyed it, and I wasn't expecting something like this, because this was the third album that I listened to of the list, and because like the other two albums have feels that I thought were gonna be like that's how it was gonna be. Right. I didn't quite know what to expect with this because he kind of feels different with Vince Neil than with Billy Idol, and I'm like, is it gonna be more Billy Idol? Is it gonna be? But like it's kind of hitting all of his different buttons at times, and I really enjoyed that. So. This was a very, very good pick, and I never would have listened to it if not for the episode. So that's why I really enjoy these birthday albums, is getting a chance to listen to stuff like this, because I really, really liked it.
Awesome. BC. Nice. I love you, baby. I love you, baby.
I remember faintly visions of this album back in the day in ads and magazines and shit, and I never listened to it. And then probably earlier this summer. It was Echo, whatever the fuck it is. So we play 80s hard rock. And the Atomic Playboys come on there one time, and I was like, that's that album. And I kind of scoped it real fast then. I don't remember too much of it, but going back to it now, I was like, of course, I have Steve Stevens, Vince Neil album in my head going into this. So I think at first song, Time with Playboys, opening part, cool. The group vocals, and then the solo. I'm like, all right, this is good. And then that second song hits you. It's like. I stopped. Is this the same? So
I'm still in the right album.
I mean, a little bit different, but hey, he can do whatever he wants. But then again, I like the Soul on Ice, the riff in that, of course, the background vocals, a little spoken word in there. In the space solo, which you say the space theme, that just takes me back to Exposed from Vince Neil, and one of the amazing solos on that album. Bet the Kitty, another standout. Like you said, how can you go around with a song like that? They do the cover of Action, which I think Black and Blue is a little bit better. And
Def Leppard is even better.
Yeah. Slipping into Friction is that's a great closer. It has a good feel. Like those songs stood out to me on this album. The other ones, the guys, the ones that don't get me wrong, are cool, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a weird. I want to hear rock. I want to hear like jazzy, and then kind of go something that's more jazzy.
You'll get in his jazzy and go listen to it.
Get in my jazzy with the keg of beer in the back.
Drive around
with
your cowboy hat on.
It has the horns in it, the backing girls. I mean, it's a good album. It was different than what I had something envisioned in my mind going into it, which is always a bad thing to do. But overall, it's a good album, good pick.
Yeah, I think this is the first time in 200 and how many episodes I actually went into this album kind of blind, only knowing like one song. I'm like, it's got to be good, but it was good in a different way. So my next pick. We're going to go back to 1991 with Lita Ford's Dangerous Curves. This is her 5th studio album, released November 12th, 1991. It was recorded in Hollywood. It is 43 minutes and 53 seconds long off of RCA Records. And the producer is Tom Werman. And the people on this, Lita, of course, does the lead vocals and guitars. Joe Taylor does guitars as well. David Ezrin on keyboards. Matt Bonaset on the bass. Myron Grombacher. He's on the drums. And we got some background singing from Jeff Scott Soto and Joe Lynn Turner.
Sad they never went anywhere.
Whew, man, oh man, right? Just poor background singers for Lita Ford in 1991. But it opens up with the song Larger Than Life. This is a great rocking opening song. The drums are crisp and big. Got band harmonies at the chorus, which are really, really cool. Great solo by Lita, of course. She even does a little spoken word in there. Great opening song. Song number 2, What Do You Know About Love? Keyboard and guitar thrown in all over the place, so you know I'm sucked right in. Almost sounds like some female background singers on this song as well. At the chorus. It's funny to hear Lita kind of like, she has like some screaming vocals at parts, which are really, really cool and definitely different. Song number 3, the only single that was released from this album, is Shot of Poison. A slower song with some more keyboard guitar parts, very radio friendly. I'm surprised this song didn't go a little bit higher in the radio world, but it was probably because it was 1991. But it's easily a radio friendly song. Song number 4, Bad Love. This is like a slow ballad. Lita's vocals are really, really good in this, though. I like how she delivers this. Slow and heavy guitar, some more keyboard thrown in there. The guitar and drum solos really, really good in this song. The outro solos just as good. Song number 5, Playing with Fire. Another up-tempo rocker with a great beat to it. Has some cool galloping drum beats throughout the whole song. And more great guitar work and band background vocals are really, really good. Song number 6, Hellbound Train. Has a cool guitar distortion in the beginning of the song. And Lita does kind of little... It's almost like a talk box thing going on there. The solo is my favorite on the album. Very heavy guitar song. Even Lita's laughing towards the end. She almost sounds like the Wicked Witch of the West, which was cool. Song number 7, Black Widow. Now, when you hear this song, Black Widow, you're like, this song's gotta kick ass. But I don't know why. I'm not a fan of this keyboard tone that they're using in the beginning and towards the end of it. But once the song picks up, it's really, really good. The harmonies are great. The guitar work is even better. Solo's really good. But once again, it closes with that silly sounding guitar. It almost sounds like a plastic guitar that you'd buy like at Toys R Us or something. That just the tone of that keyboard, it just turns me right off. But the meat of the song is really good. Song number 9, Holy Man, another slow tempo song. Kind of has a melodic sound to it, more background female singers, but more great guitar work. But of course, Lita's always closing with great guitar work on this album. Song number 10, Tambourine Dream. BC's looking for his acoustic song. He gets a little acoustic with this. Lita's vocals to me, it feels like it's Led Zeppelin-ish in parts of the song, but really, really good. And once again, we're gonna throw an instrumental in this album. So song number 11, Little Black Spider, is the instrumental, and that's how we close the album out. So I guess for me, if you're gonna put an instrumental in, I guess it's probably the best place to put it at the end of the album, because then you can just stop the album at song 10. I don't know, because I sometimes I really have to be in a mood for an instrumental, and if I want to be in an instrumental mood, I kind of go to like an all instrumental album instead of, I don't know, maybe it was a filler.
Might be a time thing too.
Yeah,
just to extend
maybe
the
just a
album
big filler to throw in there. But BC, what did you think of Miss Lita Ford here?
Me and Lita, we have history.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, Lita Ford. I mean, I've always liked Lita Ford from Out for Blood and.
Dancing on the Edge.
Thank you. I knew there was edge in it.
Runaways.
I forgot about the dancing. Those albums to me were like off the scale phenomenal. Then she got a little. The time she got a little more poppier, I would say, or radio-ish friendlier. Because that's the way you had to do. You had to make a living off this. But I love Lita. She's so underrated. She's very underrated as a guitar player. Nobody ever talks about Lita Ford as being a guitar player.
Yeah,
you talk about guitar players, nobody mentions Lita Ford. Like you said, album starts off with the Larger in Life. I just love the drum start in it, rock and riff. Has the kick-ass backing vocals, some spoken Lita, and of course her soul one. What do you know about love? Come on, cowbell. You gotta love a song that has a cowbell in it, even if it sucks. You still love it just for the cowbell. Another good riff in this song, another ripping solo. Then the songs get a little radio-ish, but the next one that stands out to me is Hellbound Train. With the drums and the bass in it. You have to have the ride cymbal in it. And the solo to me is one of the best on the album. It has that cool that riff underneath the solo. Then at the end of it. And then a few more songs, acoustics stood out, but I like the little black spider at the end.
Yeah.
Not bad. Little cool piece there.
Yeah, it is cool.
They changed the road or nothing, but no, that's it. It's not a bad album. I believe it was like 5th album or so, but the time frame, not bad.
That's what's out in 1991.
I agree with that. I want some of the key, not 80 keyboards. I don't know.
Yeah.
Early mid 80s is okay, but when you get to the late 80s, something.
It becomes too much sometimes.
Too much, and they're
too tingy.
Yeah, something is different about from mid 80s keyboards. If that makes any sense to anybody out there. But no, another good pick there, people.
Nice. Dylan.
I think the only song that I had heard before this was "What Do You Know About Love," and I like that song quite a bit. And this was a good album for me. I enjoyed this album as well. I thought "Larger Than Life" was a really great opener. It really got you out on a heavy start, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna like this album. And for the most part, I did. I think that maybe the slower songs I wasn't as big a fan of because I was in like the rockin' mood right from the start. But I really did like Hellbound Train, really awesome side 2 opener. I love the guitar work on that, really fantastic. Lita sounds great throughout the whole album, even on the slower songs. She her voice is just perfect for those. It's funny because I was looking at the track listing and I combined Holy Man and Tambourine Dream. Like in my head when I was looking over, I'm like, why is she covering Mr. Tambourine Man? Like what made her want to cover that? But that is not what happened. I would say that I like the the top half of the album more than I like the bottom half. It definitely kind of peters out a little bit for me. You know, once you get past, you know, A Little Too Early or Black Widow is where it starts falling off a little bit. But again, they're not bad songs. I enjoyed my experience listening to this album all the way through. So it wasn't a torture to listen to at all by any stretch of the imagination. I thought it was a really solid album from Lita, and Lita's not really an artist that I've dove into quite, you know, a shit ton of. You know, I've heard obviously a lot of her radio hits, and I've heard her with the Runaways. I've seen her live a couple times, but she's not somebody that I know the back catalog, like, you know, the back of my hand.
Right.
So it was really interesting going into this album that is like right off of the 80s and seeing what her 90s stuff started to sound like. So really good. And I think this album probably would have been more successful if it did come out in the 80s, because like you said, this literally came out in 91. So Nevermind's out at this point.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting into Pearl Jam. We're very much going into alt rock grunge, and this is very much
Which is we.
the you know, glam hair metal, you know, 80s that was dying out at that point, or not dying out, but not as popular in the radio. So
Dying up.
yeah, so you could. It would have been. I think it would have been a lot more successful going there, but she was nominated for a Grammy for this.
Oh.
You know, best female rock vocal performance in 1993 for "Shot of Poison."
Remember this. This may come up later.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
No, this is not the category that we. So she lost to Melissa Etheridge. Ain't it heavy? She was up against Tina Turner, The Bitch Is Back, Alison Moyet, and Alana Miles. So that's kind of where we were at.
Yeah.
Great song.
In that era. So, but good pick, another good pick for sure.
Nice. Righty.
Okay, Lita Ford, Dangerous Curves. As far as the band goes, Matt Bissonette played bass. David Lee Roth's bass player after Billy Sheehan left the band. And
Matt Bissonette.
the drummer, Myron Grombecker, he was Pat Benatar's drummer. And just thought I'd throw that out there. Larger Than Life, not the Kiss song. Kick-ass rocker to start the album out. I like it. Good solo's great there. I like it. It's a great start to the album. What Do You Know About Love? Probably my favorite Lita Ford song. Just awesome. Plenty of hooks in it. Fantastic chorus. The background vocals are great. The drums are fucking awesome. Very melodic solo in it. Cowbell, excellent gang vocals. Absolutely fucking love this song. Shot of Poison, single from the album. Good song. It's the chorus is really great. I do like this one. Very melodic. I like it when she sings in the lower register and then she brings it up. I really like when she does that. Bad Love, mellow song, some cool work at the beginning, soft vocals. Skipper for the most part for me. Solo kicks up some, makes it a little bit better. Playing with Fire, really good song. Up-tempo rocker, good song. The bass is pretty up front on this one. This song has Jim Valance written all over it. He's written a ton of stuff with a ton of people. Look him up. And if you listen to songs that he's co-written with people, this has him written all over it. Like I said, plenty of hooks, great chorus. Hellbound Train, it's got that cool chugging train thing at the beginning going there. Good rocker, gang vocals are good. There's a little breakdown for the solo. The just great playing in this song. Weird effects at the end as the song plays out. Black Widow, cool start. I like that. Dun, 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 dun. It gives it kind of an intense feel to it, I think. The drums are great in this one. The chorus, I do like this one. Cool riff for the solos. Just listen to the riff during the solo. It's really cool. Little Too Early, up-tempo, kind of a pop song. It's a little... They're trying a little too hard, I think, to get that poppy feel on this one. The chorus is pretty catchy, though. Holy Man, stuck at that a cappella start. Not really a fan of this one. Tambourine Dream, mid-tempo. It's not bad. It's not a bad song. You get that little acoustic feel in there. The vocals are good. The background vocals are good. Little Black Spider is actually pretty cool, I think. Not, it doesn't go on forever. That's what I like about it. Good album. I like it. It's nice. It's an album of its time.
Oh God,
it's got the.
You can tell it's
It doesn't have the horns like a lot of stuff at that time, but you were just getting to that point, and you could tell that, you're getting that keyboardy stuff a lot more You know, it's not like totally in your face on this one, but it's there, but it's not there. So good one. Like I said, it's got my favorite Lita song on there, so can't go wrong there.
Sweet. Well, there's our first half of the show with my 2 birthday picks. Not too bad to start off here. With Lita Ford and Dangerous Curves and Atomic Playboy by Steve Stevens. So let's get into the gem song. How about we go with a song off of Tom Kiefer's solo album, since we're kind of doing. It seems like they're doing all these solo album. How about we do with a little duet he kind of does with Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. So this song was released in 2017. It is off the Way Life Goes album from Tom Kiefer. It's on the deluxe version. It's called Nobody's Fool duet version. So Dylan, give that a little spin, buddy.
Count the
All right, guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that song with Lizzie Hale. Great song. Love it. Great cover. So let's get into our gems. Dylan, what do you have for us?
My hidden gem, it's a group that I've talked about in the past. I kind of got back into them. They're a super group called The Damned Things. Great super group featuring Scott Ian from Anthrax, formerly Rob Caggiano, because then he joined Full Beat. But also Dan Andriano from Alkaline Trio, Keith Buckley from Every Time I Dies on vocals, and then the wild cards from Fall Out Boy, Joe Troman and Andy Hurley. But it's a really cool, kind of groovy-ish band that has 2 good albums out, Ironiclast and High Crimes. High Crimes is probably my favorite from them. I really like some of the, like Cells is a really cool song. Something Good's great. I love the chorus of Y-E-L-L. All of my friends are going to hell. Yeah, it's real catchy kind of stuff. But they're a really cool band. Not stuff that you would expect to hear from like Scott Ian, but it's really good. It's stuff that I think people would really be interested in. So my hidden gem is The Damned Things.
Nice. Righty.
All right. We will talk about this band maybe a little bit next week. I think we may have talked about this band a little bit 2 weeks ago. The band Accept. They put out a live single last week, I think it came out. Live single of Overnight Sensation. Real cool. I like the song. I love the groove. And I was just listening to Grown Up Rock this morning. They were doing the last Van Halen album. They've done a Van Halen album every month for this year. Check that out. And they were doing A Different Kind of Truth for December with Phil Schaus from Accept. And they were talking about that. So I figured I would throw a little Accept, Overnight Sensation live. New live single from those guys.
Nice.
Awesome.
BC.
It's not too many times I go fishing for music, so when I do find music, when I'm fishing, it's usually a massive band you never heard of. But this is definitely going to be a massive band. The band is massive. They're out of Melbourne, Australia.
Melvin.
Straightforward rock. No,
Are they
nothing.
new?
No, I forget where I even came across them, but
Better than that Massive Wagons.
I didn't say they can't be as good as Massive Wagons.
But what caught my eye was their first album was called Full Throttle, so I had to check them out. But they had an album, I guess they came out in 13, but they reissued the album in 14. Another one, Destination Somewhere in 16, and Rebuild Destroy in February of 2019. This is I just came across them. Like I said, just
There was a show on Cartoon Network hosted by Andrew WK called Destroy, Rebuild, Destroy.
maybe that's the title track to the cartoon. I don't know, but they have some bunch of videos. I mean, good straightforward rock and roll. Some of the things said, some of them things say that the next word Guns N' Roses, which I don't know.
Settle down,
people. At least not to your Guns N' Roses, but I just call it straightforward rock and roll. Throw it on is
are they kind of like Airborne like?
a little bit,
All right, they got that
maybe
Australian driving hard rock kind of thing going.
maybe not as heavy, but sometimes some of them are a little heavier. But
All right, I'm going to go back to the year 2000 with a band that we all kind of enjoy here at the podcast, Burning Rain, with Doug Aldridge. The song I want to talk about is Stone Cold and Crazy. Great heavy rocking song, just like BC's Massive. These guys are as rocking and heavy as well. The guitar work is fantastic, and just a great band. Keith St. John's vocals are really good on this song, so check that out. It's off their second album, Pleasure to Burn. Great song. So that's what I have going on. I have Stone Cold Crazy by Burning Rain.
Is that a cover of the Queen song?
It is not.
No.
BC has the band Massive. Righty has the live single from Accept, Overnight Sensation. And Dylan has the band The Damned Things. So now that we've got the gems out of the way, let's get back into the birthday episode with album number 3. And this album is going to be the live album we talk about tonight. It is the band The Circle. It is made up of Sammy Hagar on vocals, Michael Anthony on bass, Vic Johnson on guitars, and Jason Bonham on drums. So this album was released May of 2015. It's off the Mailboat label. It's produced by Sammy Hagar, Vic Johnson, and Jameson Durr. So this live album kind of starts out with the guy who introduces the band. They open up with a Sammy song, There's Only One Way to Rock, another one of Wrighty's favorites. Great way to start this show off. Definitely a great rockin' tune off of Sammy's catalog. Vic's solo is really, really good. And the whole band sounds great at this point in this first opening song. Song number 2, Rock Candy from Montrose. Vic does an extended solo on his song. It's really, really cool. I love how Jason's drums sound on this. A great sound that they're making, these 4 guys. Really, really good stuff. Song number 3, Good Times, Bad Times from Led Zeppelin. Another great song to cover. Jason's drums, of course, are highlighted in this song. Great cover. They do a great job. Vic's guitar worked great. Song number 4, Pound Cake from Van Halen. And I don't understand why Sammy decides to yell out 1993, because For Unlawful Counter Knowledge, if I'm not mistaken, came out in 1991. So I don't know why he keeps... Because he does it again.
He's old.
He's old. He's
Get up there. Come on.
He's out for a couple of years.
Too much tequila.
But, of course, Vic does the opening power drill start on the guitar. And I like how Vic plays on this album when he's playing the Van Halen songs, because he's not trying to be Eddie. He does his own thing. He stays in his wheelhouse. He kind of makes it his own. And that's what I really like about Vic Johnson in all these songs that they're going to cover here in the Van Halen catalog. Song number 5, Can't Drive 55 from Sammy's famous VOA album. A little audience participation in this one. They're all singing 55, which is cool. Drums are great again. Song number 6, you have Michael Anthony's bass solo. Song number 7, When It's Love from Van Halen. The band background vocals are really, really good on this song. A couple parts, it sounded like Sammy was kind of struggling a little bit to hit the old higher notes. But like you said, he's old. But still a great song to cover. Song number 8, Whole Lot of Love from Led Zeppelin. Jason gets a little bit of talking time here. He thanks the fans for the support from Led Zeppelin and his family. Another great cover. And, of course, he just kills it on the drums on that song. Song number 9, Little White Lie from Sammy's catalog. Really, really cool. There's like some slide guitar in there. Sammy does a little of his own soloing in the beginning of the song, which is really, really cool. Song number 10, When the Levee Breaks from Led Zeppelin, another great cover. Vic sounds great on the guitar on this one. And 11, we have the drum solo. So Jason does his thing on that. Song number 12, Why Can't This Be Love from Van Halen. It was nice. Michael Anthony gets to sing a verse on this song, which was nice. The synth parts are really, really good. Pretty much spot on. So I don't know if somebody's actually playing them or they're kind of recorded. Song number 13, Finish What You Started from Van Halen. They seem like they do this song a little bit of a slower, a little bit more bluesier than the actual Van Halen song, but it fits. It's really, really good. Song number 14, Heavy Metal from the Heavy Metal movie. Sammy on vocals with that song. Great song, great band. The band is running in all cylinders and they're sounding great at this point in the show. Song number 15, you get a little Vic Johnson guitar solo. Song number 16, Best of Both Worlds by Van Halen. It seems like this is like the end of the song, end of the show. I mean, great stuff. Great way to end it. Then they do song number 17 is Right Now from Unlawful Carnal Knowledge of Van Halen. And once again, Sammy says 1993. So I don't know why Sammy thinks Fuck comes out in 1993. But Sammy comes out in 91. The iconic guitar start as usual. But more great Vic playing, making it his own, not trying to be Eddie in this. Great stuff. Song number 18, Rock and Roll from Led Zeppelin. And the solo Vic does on this song is like the best solo of the whole album. Great stuff. And they close out the song with song number 19, Dreams by Van Halen. And they do it acoustic. Sammy and Vic I think it's just those two guys up on the stage. They turn Dreams into acoustic stuff, which sounded really, really good. I was really surprised by that. I didn't expect that, especially the last song of the album. But I really, really enjoy this. Great history of Sammy's catalog with the solo stuff, with the Montrose stuff, with the Van Halen stuff. And it's even cool how they even threw some Led Zeppelin stuff in there. So, Dylan, what'd you think about this album?
Well, maybe he's talking about Live Right Here, Right Now, because that came out in 93. So maybe he's like, this was last recorded live
okay.
with me and Michael Anthony.
Maybe I'll throw him that bone.
It's a stretch, but that's the only thing I could think of, because even the singles, they stopped being released in 92 from Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. So I'm like,
oh, okay, yeah. So
I don't know what you're going for there, except for maybe that, but even that's a stretch.
He's drinking.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a solid band. This is a really good band. It's always awesome hearing Michael Anthony and Sammy Hagar doing vocals like that. I will never not be happy when I hear those two doing duets, because Michael Anthony's high vocals are like part of the Van Halen sound for me. That's like a signature thing. The one thing that I could definitely do without is all the solos, because we had a solo literally from everybody in the band except Sammy, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, come on. At least with Jason's solo, it kind of went into Moby Dick a little bit. That was kind of cool,
yeah.
But even then, it's still a fucking drum solo in the middle of the goddamn show. Like, I don't need it. I know these guys are talented. They could show it off during the songs.
Old guys like us need a pee break.
Need a pee and beer break.
Well, that's but when It's Love happens right after Mike's bass solo.
You can take a dump then.
Yeah.
That happens too.
It's I mean, good song choice. They do a lot of Zeppelin, which is very interesting. But I mean, of course, you got to give it up for Jason Bonham, because his dad, of course, the infamous John Bonham. But I thought that it sounded good. You could really hear everybody pretty well. I like this live album. It's a very solid live album. A lot of variety for sure. There are a couple ballads in there, for Dad. Because those are his favorite.
Pee and grab another beer.
Yeah. Grab a 24 ounce.
It was an interesting end. I thought Dreams was doing an acoustic version of Dreams was interesting. I don't know if ending a live show with an acoustic thing is
I can't imagine this. That's how they ended it.
Yeah, like
it seemed like seemed
Best
like the end of the
Worlds, what is definitely felt like that felt like main set ender, and then maybe they did like the encore of Right Now, Rock and Roll. Like if they ended with Rock and Roll, that would have been a great live ender. But ending with Dreams, it would be a good studio ender, because you got the reflective thing, but live it's all about the energy. It's all about keeping the energy up, keeping the audience entertained, and you kind of lose it there with an acoustic version of a song that could be pretty like bombastic if done not acoustic. But that's I'm not a multi-million-dollar recording artist, so who am I to say how you should end the live show? But not how I would have ended it. I thought it was a solid live album, good band, could do without all the solos.
Yeah, let's see if I can find a set list.
Where's that set list?
Yeah, I like how Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony are kind of like a duo. They stuck together. That's pretty nice. But
Rodney, what'd you think?
All right. Sammy Hagar in the circle, at your service. It's weird how they intro the band right at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, that was weird.
Different, kind of cool. I don't hate it. It was just different. The show in Atlantic City. So yeah, I wonder if that actually. I'll talk about that at the end too. Open up with "There's Only One Way to Rock." My favorite Sammy song. Fucking love it. It's in my yearbook as my favorite song at the time.
Boy, 2 favorite songs tonight I got out of
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I'll tell you what, this is,
Don't get used
and
to it.
actually, this is one of my top 10 songs ever. Love it. I love Michael Anthony's vocals. And I'm just going to throw this out there. My MVP right now on this album is Vic Johnson. He plays everything fantastic. He does the Van Halen stuff fantastic. He doesn't try to out Eddie. He plays it solid. He's got the... I mean, no one will ever have the tone, but he's very close to the tone of EVH. The solo just rips it up on here. Awesome start to it. Vic Johnson just tears it up from like the very first song. Rock Candy, I hate this song. I do.
There you go.
See that? We went, and now we're like...
I told you, don't get used to it.
I don't know. I just don't like this song. I never liked it. I hate when Lita Ford does it too. Really? Sucks. But Vic Johnson tears it up on this song, but it's just I don't like the song, and the drums sound really good on it too. Good times, bad times, which I think is cool that this was the first Zeppelin song they did, because this is the first song in the first Led Zeppelin album. And I'm not a huge Led Zeppelin fan, you guys know that. But what a better way to throw Led Zeppelin into the set in doing the first Led Zeppelin song. Jason nails the drums. His drums are very bombastic throughout this whole album. Pound Cake, good version. Vic plays great. Mike's bass is great in that one. I Can't Drive 55, fun version. I don't like the crowd singing parts. Bass solo, piss break. When It's Love, good song, decent version. Sammy still's got the pipes for this song, I think, and Vic's playing is great. Whole Lot of Love. Why? Just why is the drummer talking again in another band? There should not be a microphone to sing in except for background vocals for a drummer. I'm sorry. Every drummer out there, I love you, but shut the fuck up behind the drums and during a show. I don't want to hear you. I don't care.
Not even Kelly.
Who?
Not even Kelly.
Kelly who?
What do you mean,
Kelly from Night Ranger.
No, I don't want to hear him. I want to hear him sing. I don't want to hear him talk. I don't want to hear drummers talk. You're there to drum and sing background.
Ridiculous.
Besides that, I love this. I love Whole Lot of Love. It's really cool. I love. They pull off the middle part that like all that. They pull that off pretty good. I thought they did that justice. The that's a little fast though. They need to back that up a little bit, because it's like those lead fills are really cool in that, but I think it feels rushed. What Little White Lie? I like the build. I've always liked the build in this song. I've always liked this one. When the Levee Breaks, one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. The booming jump.
Now that sounds like it's piped in, right, at the beginning.
It kind of does.
Because I think it sounded like the actual recording of it.
It kind of does. But it is. I do like this song, but it's kind of a momentum killer in the set. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Harpo used to do Kashmir. It's like it's a good song, but like it's just like it's too mid tempo. You know what I mean? It kind of drags it down, and then it goes into the drum solo. The Moby Dick part of it is kind of cool, and it's not long, which is tolerable. Why Can't This Be Love? I've never been a fan of this song. Decent version. I do like that Michael Anthony sings a verse in the song. I like that he gets some time to kind of shine on this show, that he gets to sing more than just background vocals. Finish What You Started, another mass song for me. Heavy Metal, excellent song. Heavy Time, Michael and Vic singing a different verse on it. I love it, because when he used to have do the tours with the Wabaritas, like Mona used to sing the one part in it. I really like it. Vic's guitar solo, I love you, Vic, but at least it's short. Once again, Best of Both Worlds, long version, Sammy talking. I mean, just please kick it in, all right. I always like the song though. It's then he gets into the smack in the ass thing. I'm like, come on, Sammy. You're a fucking like 70-year-old man. Relax. Right now, good version, except for the crowd singing again. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't. But I don't want to hear Sammy talking about it.
Right now, Sammy's thinking of smacking some ass.
Yeah. Right now, good version, except the crowd singing. Like I said, Rock and Roll, they should have just ended it here. Just end it. It's been a long time since Rock and Roll, good version. But for some reason, it's a little lacking to me, this version of the song. It's good, but it's missing something. In Dreams, if this is how they ended the song, I would have been fucking pissed. Because I like the song. I always think of the Blue Angels, the cool video and all that. And then you do this acoustic. Like, you don't end a show that way. I'm sorry.
It would have been a fantastic closer for the electric version.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
not the acoustic.
Absolutely. Like, the way I'm thinking, if you're gonna do this, right? So if you look at the set, say you go off with shuffle the end part, go off with Right Now, then you come back with this crappy version of Dreams, get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Then you do Best of Both Worlds, and then you do Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
You know, because I would be pissed if they did this at the end. I'd be like, you ended your show like that.
Yeah.
But a good album, like I said, Vic Johnson is my MVP on this one. It's a good listen. It really is. There's parts that I don't like, parts that I love. Good thing you can listen to it on your phone, so you can just, when the drum solo comes up, boom, next. Bass solo, oh no, sorry, boom, next. Vic, sorry, love you, but boom, next. And then you could just say that Rock and Roll ended the show. I don't even know the fucking version of Right Now, or Dreams, or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, it seems like they do a couple different encore songs, but I tried to find the closest one to 2015. So this show, their encore was Dreams, Rock and Roll, and Best of Both Worlds.
Okay. So they did
So it must be just something they've thrown on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if they, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, because if they just ended a show like this,
like Best of Both Worlds. That's a good closer for sure.
Even Dreams would have been a good closer.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Rock and Roll. Any three of those songs, I think, would have been a really good closer for this set. But
Just not
I'm glad to hear that hopefully that was not how they ended the show.
Yeah. And it seems like they always kept Dreams, and they always kept Rock and Roll, and they kind of threw like a Van Halen closer in there.
They should have done Ain't Talking About Love to close it.
Sammy doesn't have to do Dave songs.
But I enjoyed it.
Nice. BC.
Live albums always make me nervous because I love live albums. And usually about half of them don't live up to my expectations. You know what I mean? I want to...
He's a taskmaster.
I love... But this album, thank God, came through. It has that really good live feel. Not too overdone, overproduced. Great feel, production. You can hear everything equally. I mean, song-wise, it's not too bad. I mean, of course, there's only one way to rock. It's classic Sammy. Love it. When the Levee Breaks, I like Zeppelin. Rock Candy, I like that song. I don't like Lita Ford's version. I agree with Steve on that one. But I like the Sammy does it. After that, Can't Drive 55. You got all the classic songs. Right now, that sounds like Nails on Chalkboard to me. I don't know why. Ever since it first came out, I was like, never liked that song.
He hates the video because there's too much reading in it.
Yeah.
When you can't read it.
Then it goes too fast.
Right now, BC wants to skip the song.
Yeah. Right now, BC is skipping this song.
Right now, I'm hitting the heavy metal. Come on, you can't go around that. Finish what you started. Even the Van Hagar songs, I like on here. Except for that, right now, I've listened to this whole album like, woo, and I got that song. I was like, God damn it! Smash my phone. I get doing it. I agree with everybody else on here. I mean, Dreams at the end. I like acoustic, but when you're doing a live show and you're closing out the night, that's not what you do it with. But I think they shuffled that around. They had to finish with Rock and Roll, which is another great Zeppelin song. Can't Drive 55. This is a great live album, and I was never really up on the circle.
Yeah.
It's produced really well, too.
Yeah,
sounds good. It sounds really good.
And that, to me, draws me in. And the live album is just, like, I fucking hate that. And there's a bunch from the... It's so fucking fake. Stop.
Stop it.
Stop it.
And, you know there weren't that many people in the crowd.
You know there's not that many people. It's a fucking 500 club thing, and you got...
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I hate that. But this one is very good. A great pick, BB, and I download it and we'll be listening to it more.
Right. Well, you're driving all over the place. There you go. All right. And last but not least, we'll talk about probably the most hilarious band ever to produce any type of music. Steel Panther. This album is hilarious. It's their second album called Balls Out. It was released October 28th, 2011. And of course, you have your guys Michael Starr, Satchel, Lexi Fox, and Styx are the band members. 47 minutes, 37 seconds long, off the Universal Republic label, and it was produced by Jay Redston. So this album starts off with "In the Future," which is a funny little kind of like talking section. Come to find out, Dane Cook, the old comedian, does this. It's funny stuff. It starts off song number 2 with "Supersonic Sex Machine," a super fast-paced song with some 2 crazy solos about a sex robot. It's just hilarious, funny stuff. If you don't have a sense of humor, this band is definitely not for you. Song number 3, "Just Like Tiger Woods." Who doesn't want to be like Tiger Woods, fertilizing all the ladies in the neighborhood? It's funny stuff. The band is amazing. The music of this song is fantastic. Song number 4, "17 Girls in a Row." You do 17 girls in a row in the hotel, the grocery store, the trailer park. It's just funny. The lyrics are great. The guitar work is killer in this song. Drums actually seem out like they're a little bit out front, a little bit more in this song, a little bit heavier. Great song. Song number 5, "If You Really, Really Love Me." This is more of a slower acoustic song to start. Then it has a little rock and kick in. More funny Steel Panther love lyrics about a 52-year-old guy and a 19-year-old girl, which are hilarious. Song number 6, "It Won't Suck Itself." I absolutely love this song. Chad Kroeger from Nickelback does a little cameo singing. I think he does a verse in this song with Michael Starr. But the guys get bit by a rattlesnake and a scorpion right below the belt, telling their girlfriends to suck it. It won't suck itself. You have to suck it out. It's just a great, fun, rockin' song. Song number 7, "Tomorrow Night." There's a big party in Beverly Hills tomorrow night, but tonight he's gonna stay home and burp his worm, BC. This is just funny shit. It's hilarious. And then there's Iron Maiden's playing in the backyard at this party. It's just good, funny stuff.
Charlie Sheen's winning in the bedroom upstairs.
Sheen. It is just funny lyrics with super kick-ass music on these songs. Song number 8, "Why Can't You Trust Me?" is a little slower acoustic song. This is like the Steel Panther love song, BC. Just trust them, all right?
Trust me, dude.
Yeah. Song number 9, "That's What Girls Are For." Cleaning, baking, hot love making. That's what they like girls for, and that's how this song comes out. Another killer solo from Satchel. Song number 10, "Gold Digging Whore." This has like a little grit to it, a little grittiness to this song. It's just funny how one of the lyrics is, "Give her a big rock, you'll catch her sucking George Clooney's cock." About cheating. And there's another cool part towards the end of the song. They almost turn into like cheerleaders. They start spelling out "gold digging whore," which is really, really cool part of the song. It makes you laugh. This is my kind of fun music. This is what I go to, laugh and giggle and just rock out. Song number 11, "I Like Drugs." Now, kids, don't do drugs because they're really, really bad. But you may have sex with your cable guy or the girl who looks like Shrek. Great stuff. Another funny part, he gets pulled over. He's got like beers and pills in his car. He goes, "Oh, I better chug these beers and take these pills." The cop knocks on the window and tells him he's going 25 on the freeway. And he goes, "Do you have any warrants?" And he said, "No, but I have their first CD and you can't have it, motherfucker." And he drives off. Just funny stuff. Song number 12, "Critter." "Hit her in the shitter or screw her in the poopy tube." Funny stuff. "Let Me Come In," another funny sex song with a little cowbell in it for everybody that we already talked about before. And song number 14, Weenie Ride. Nice piano song, funny stuff. I think they say like weenie 39 times at the end of the song.
At least.
At least, right? Like, this is like my new segment of my birthday. I think the rest of my birthdays, I'm just going to pick a Steel Panther song because the music is funny, the band is tight, the lyrics are hilarious. It's just a fun album. Righty, what'd you think about this album?
My best memory of this album is I picked this up. We were going to see Judas Priest, the four of us.
Oh, right.
In New Jersey. But when this came out, like, you got the Dane Cook, the beginning is really cool. Supersonic Sex Machine, cool, fast rip. The lyrics are, like, lightning fast, but it's freaking hilarious. The guitar playing on this album is phenomenal. Satchel is friggin' fantastic. Just like Tiger Woods, absolutely love this song. The lyrics are great. If you're anything you know about Tiger Woods, remember this when you're having fun. 3 holes are better than a hole in one. If word gets out, don't be afraid when a 9-iron's heading for your Escalade. Yeah. Shit like that. I love it. There's the spoken word part in the middle. Have your best friend book all your flights. Tell your wife that your golfing nights. Get a call, girl. Maybe just chill. Be willing to part with $100 million. Bang a new porn star every day. Tell your sponsors it'll be okay. Surprise them with an invitation to a viewing of your first double penetration. Yeah. And then it goes into solo. I mean, just like lyrical gold. I mean, these guys, and I can only picture these guys recording this and like trying not to like laugh your balls off while you're just actually singing this. Love it. 17 Girls in a Row's got a cool groove to it. Real cool. If You Really, Really Love Me. Acoustic song, hilarious. Just you got to get into this album lyrically. If you are any kind of prude or whatever, you're gonna freaking hate it. But you got to take it for what it is. It's not serious. It Won't Suck Itself. Absolutely love this one. You said Chad Kroeger sings the one thing. Rocked it out like Aerosmith in 1985. Fucking awesome. And the just gotta spit it out. That's Satchel, I think, singing that part of the song. Okay. So you kind of get 3 of them singing on this one. Tomorrow Night is fantastic, fun song. That's What Girls Are For. Or no, I'm sorry, Why Can't You Trust Me? It's okay. It's like kind of the power ballad song of there. It's more or less a skipper for me. I can live without that one. That's What Girls Are For. Stomping rocker. Catchy chorus is awesome. Gold Digging Whore. My wife absolutely loves this song. And you get a little spelling lesson on this one, BC. You learn how to spell Gold Digging Whore. And I like the end. WHORE. Absolutely love it. See, if you kids were younger, Dylan could have learned how to spell in the car. It's like how they learned how to count on Cadillac Jack. 1, 2. But it's great. I love that song. I Like Drugs. BB. Last night I got so high I think I had sex with the cable guy. Fucking awesome. And at the end too, when the cop radio's in, he goes, "We got a 5150 on a 2112." So they get a little Van Halen and a Rush shout out there in that one.
He says that the guy looks like a chubby David Lee Roth.
Looks like skinny
Vince Neil. That's what Vince Neil comes with.
Okay, there you go. All right. Critter, good rockin' song. Not a standout for me, but the solo's really good in it. Let me come in. Another one of my top 3 probably Steel Panther songs. I like how it goes. Let me come into your house, and then the next one is come into your mouth, and then the next one is come into your ass. It's just the progression of the song is great. He's sleeping on a park bench at the beginning of the thing, and then it's gold, Jerry, gold. I like the one part. I want to in your gluteus maximus so tight, like this. The word play in the songs, and then BB's favorite part is in your super duper pooper, yeah. Fucking hilarious. Weenie Ride, funny tender ballad at the end. You get the weenie 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 ride. Go spread your thighs. This album is it's fun, front to back. Really, just kind of one skipper on this album for me. It's fun music. Like I've said before. First time we saw these guys, they're singing Fat Girl to these girls, and like they were flipping him off. They were so pissed. And when we saw them the first time, at least half the crowd probably had no idea what they were about. No idea.
No.
And we
They
were
were
rocking
so
out,
mad
and
and
people were just looking around. People were going, "What are they singing about?" It was just freaking crazy. Now everybody's on the Steel Panther train, but this is probably the most solid Steel Panther album. I love it.
That's good. Dylan.
Yeah, so I definitely think it's an improvement over Feel the Steel, because there's a little more of the joke being on them in this one, and that's when I prefer Steel Panther, like when they're the joke, like more so like because like the whole joke of them is like amping up how the 80s was like super like sexist and shit, and how like shitty like some of the lyrics really were. And like songs like It Won't Suck Itself and I Like Drugs are probably like where I like Steel Panther the most, because it's like this guy like gets fucking bit by a scorpion and a rattlesnake, and I Like Drugs, like he's just like cracked out of his mind and stuff like that. I think like Why Can't You Trust Me, it goes a little too far, because like we're like making Chris Brown jokes, and that it's not a good look, but the musically fantastic. Another thing on It Won't Suck Itself, Bettencourt is on the song as well.
Ooh, nice.
Which is very cool. I mean, I think musically these guys are fantastic. Really great stuff. Some of the lyrics, you got some dated references now, which is going to be the case, because, I mean, when was the last time Charlie Sheen was relevant? Right? Probably 2011.
Yeah.
Britney Spears is making out with Christopher Walken. But it's kind of funny in its datedness. So that's kind of a nice little thing. I mean, like, I really like the spelling of Pardon Gold Digging Whore, because it's almost like they're forgetting how it's spelled, and they're like, oh shit, there's an E at the end. So that's a really funny thing. But some of it hasn't aged well, but I think it's a much better album than Feel the Steel. I like a lot of the guitar work on this album. Fantastic. Satchel kicks ass. But it's not bad. It's a good album. There's some of my favorite Steel Panther songs on there, like I said. Nice. I just think some of it hasn't aged as well. Being dated or going a little too far at times. But for the most part, I think they hit the mark in terms of trying to go for that 80s, fucking girls and partying and making fun of that. I think they hit that part pretty well for the most part.
Gotcha. Nice. Mr. Chapman, what would you like to say about this album, sir?
Yeah. Steel Panther, like Steve was saying, when we first saw them live, nobody knew who they were. And, I mean, they all probably thought they were at the M3 festival, they were playing rock that everybody else played that in the lyrics, and then the girls were leaving in droves.
Oh, yeah. There was like, it was like a mass exodus off that. It was a side stage, too.
Yeah, we were pissing our pants laughing because we knew who they were and knew what they were doing and their style of music lyrically, but nobody else did. And they thought they were seriously doing songs that these were the lyrics, man. It's fucking hysterical. Okay? But Balls Out, their second album, this picks up where the first one left off, which we were not going to Philly yesterday. The younger guy in the truck was playing Steel Panther.
Wow.
Feel the Steel.
Nice.
I was like, he goes, this is funny shit. I'm like, thank you. Somebody, a younger person gets it. Wow. Yes. But the open track reminds me of the Shout at the Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this whole album, the guitar playing, the solos, how can you go wrong? But lyrically, the whole album, like we talked about multiple times here today. But funny as shit. I mean, the more you listen to it, the more things you catch lyrically off it. Musically, the musicianship in this band is off the scale. How can you go around any of the tunes in them? Just like Tiger Woods, I mean, when this came out, there was a little bit more in the news than it is nowadays, but 17 Girls in a Row, It Won't Suck Yourself, another good one. That's what girls are for. And Weenie Ride, to me, I can listen to that over and over. It's fucking hysterical as shit. It only closes down so I can take a leak.
Yes.
I remember... Listen to this, it's just, you gotta listen to this and just laugh. I mean, it's not serious.
Right.
I mean, musically, it's great. Lyrically, it's funny as shit. And that's the way 80s music should be, funny and enjoyable and not serious. And these guys are iconic in this. They're still going today.
Yeah. And I'll never forget that when that time when we saw them in M3, Satchel does his little solo, and he gets behind the drums, and I think he was doing Black Sabbath. He's doing solo and playing the drums at the same time with the guitar. Like,
that.
what the fuck? But that, like we all said, like musicianship, this band is super tight, fantastic. Love this stuff, hilarious. So there's my 4 albums. Hope you guys out there enjoyed them. And let's rank them. How we'll rank them? So, Righty, how would you rank these 4 lovely albums?
Okay, let's see. I gotta put Steel Panther at number 1. Absolutely, I think it's fantastic. Musically, it's kind of tough to rank them production-wise because of the you have the 80s production of
very different eras.
So I will go Steel Panther. Then I will go. I can't believe I'm saying this. Sammy Hagar, the live one next, and then I'm gonna go the Lita Ford one next because it has my favorite Lita Ford song on there. But Atomic Playboys is fantastic too. Something's got to be at the end. But good batch of albums though. Fun batch of albums. I enjoy. It wasn't like, oh man, this is a tough album to get through. And we'll talk about some tough albums to get through in a little bit. But good batch. And
nice.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah, happy birthday. Funnily enough, my ranking is the exact opposite. Steve Stevens, number 1. Really love that album. Really different, and I wasn't expecting it, so I really enjoyed that. Then Lita Ford, number 2. That was a great album. Sammy, close at 3, and then Steel Panther 4, because, I think Steel Panther hasn't aged as well with some of the stuff on the album, but still some good stuff in it. Like, none of these albums were horrible. Can't listen to them at all. I'll definitely listen to all of these albums at some point or another, down the road, put them in playlists, stuff like that. So, very good picks.
Nice. BC.
BB, happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy.
Another year down. Whew. If I'm going to choose I'm going to go with the Circle, number 1. Because I just love when the live album is good live. Mm-hmm. Probably Steel Panther, number 2, because it was fucking cranking album and funny at the same time. I got to go with my girl Lita Ford for number 3 and finish it out with Atomic Playboys. But it's not a bad album.
No.
Somebody has to be last.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go Lita Ford. I love that. And that shows my age. 1991, I'm graduating high school. I actually got that album from my girlfriend for Christmas because it came out, I think it was like November it came out. I remember getting that from her. I love that album, and it shows, like I said, shows my age, shows the times, that keyboard, that guitar, her ass, her voice, love it. Album number 2 would be Steel Panther, definitely. We've already talked about how fun that album is. Probably number 3 would be Atomic Playboys. I was impressed by that album, and the Circle's number 4 for me. I don't know what it was. So sorry. I had to put the shock factor somewhere in an episode, and there it is.
I think the most shocking thing is that me and BC had 1 and 2, and you have it last.
Yeah,
what the hell?
interesting.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's a Festivus miracle.
Yes. All right. At this time, we are going to kind of do a little rankings of our birthday albums. Steve came up with this. We thought it was a great idea. So we're gonna go birthday albums. We kind of started this in 2018, but we're gonna go from 2019 to 2021. All those years, everybody released picked 4 albums. So we have a list right here, and we're gonna pick our top 3 and our bottom 3.
Oh, hasn't everybody read out the albums that they had?
Okay.
I'll go first since I have the paper. Dylan, not because Dylan doesn't have the paper. So
I do not have the paper.
2019, I had Black Country Communion, BCC 4, Love Hate, Wasted in America, Kick Axe Vices, Peter Frampton Comes Alive. 2020, I had Judas Priest, Stained Class, Massive Wagons, Full Nelson, Rat Detonator, and Scorpions Worldwide Live. In 2021, I had Eclipse Momentium. I always pronounce that wrong. Accept, Metal Heart, Wasp Inside the Electric Circus, Alice Cooper, A Paranormal Evening at Olympia, Paris. Those are mine.
Nice.
Go ahead, BC. Oh, sorry, BB.
For 2019, I had Tangier, 4 wins. Y&T, 10. Sabotage, Handful of Rain, and Pretty Maids, Alive at Last. 2020, I had Autograph, Sign In Please. Sabotage, Gutter Ballet. Waste It, Save Your Prayers. And Armored Saints, Saints Will Conquer. And in 2021, I had Saints and Sinners, self-titled. Child's Play, another self-titled. And Loudsmouth, self-titled. And Bonfire, Fireworks, Still Alive. 16 explosive hits.
Nice. Dylan, what were your birthday albums?
Well, first off, I'm very bitter that I don't get to talk about my 2018 list because would have been able to talk about the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance, but unfortunately, no. 2019, I had David Bowie, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, Bear Ghost with Blaster Piece, Green Day with American Idiot, and Heaven and Hell with Neon Nights, 30 Years of Heaven and Hell. 2020, I had Crowbot with Mother Brain, Mastodon with Leviathan, Royal Blood, self-titled, and Stone Sour, Hello You Bastards. And then 2021, this year, I had Alice Cooper, or as my dad typed it out, Alive Cooper, with Constrictor, Ice Nine Kills with Welcome to Horrorwood, The Silver Scream 2, Bullet for My Valentine with Fever, and Green Day with Awesome as Fuck.
Nice. All right. Myself, I had 2019 Queensryche Condition Human, Black Sabbath, Eternal Idol, Quiet Riot, self-titled, and my live album was Danger Danger Live and Nude. 2020, I had the Boston self-titled album. I started my Steel Panther with Feel the Steel, Devil's Train 2, and my live album was Paul Stanley's One Live Kiss. And this year, once again, Steel Panther, Balls Out, Lita Ford, Dangerous Curves, Steve Stevens with Atomic Playboys, and Sammy Hagar in the Circle with At Your Service.
All right, real quick, BC's got to leave. BC, tell everybody Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and we'll catch you next year.
Right.
And happy birthday again to BB over here. You're catching up to me, but
Almost.
never will be. Thank God, right?
Thank God. Not in my 50s yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You're getting closer now.
I'll be 49.
Ooh, real close.
Super close.
We'll get your membership card next year.
Yeah.
That's right. AARP shit's going to be
AARP.
coming in the mail.
I came in my 40s.
I know.
All right, everybody out there, thanks for tuning in with us, and I'll catch you guys next year.
Yeah. Oh. Next episode. You're on the next episode, but
I don't know.
28th.
I don't know what day of the year it is.
I know.
So.
We're
I'm
one ahead of the
confused.
game. So next time BC's recording with us will be next year.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And actually, I want to say happy anniversary to BC because the next time we record will be on BC's anniversary. So
Hey, happy anniversary.
And God knows where I'll be.
Was number 2?
2.
Nice.
Time flies when you're happy.
Man, she's already got her angel's wings putting up with you for 2 years.
Yeah, no shit.
And I'm still alive.
See you, buddy.
All right, later. All right, Dylan. How about you pick your bottom 3 out of this list?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't remember most of these albums. I'm like, we listened to some of these albums. I don't remember them at all. So it was a little tough picking my bottom 3 because I couldn't remember because I kind of purged the stuff that I didn't like pretty quick. But the ones that I did remember from my bottom 3, I picked. I wanted to pick one from each person so that, to be fair. And so my bottom 3, BC, his pick for me was Handful of Rain by Sabotage. I'm not a big Sabotage fan. I don't know why. And you think that I would be because it has that orchestral, epicness to it that I like from.
Right,
but I don't know. It doesn't click with me. And I remember not being as big a fan of that album. The one for BB was Feel the Steel, Steel Panther. Like I said, I think they get better with the songwriting. They have some good songs on that first record, but a lot of them don't hit for me. And then for my dad, I'm sure this will be mentioned again, Full Nelson from Massive Wagons. That one I do remember not liking that much. It just wasn't for me. But for the most part, the good news was I didn't remember hating a lot of these albums.
Yeah. So do you have BC's shitty albums on your?
Actually, he gave me top 3 for each year, but he only has one written down for the bottom one.
Okay.
His number 1 bottom one was David Bowie, Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust.
I do it, yeah.
I'll give you his. I'll just read his because this is what he wrote down.
Okay.
For 2019, he has Kick Axe number 1, Quiet Riot self-titled number 2, Heaven and Hell Neon Nights, 30 years.
For his tops?
For his tops.
Okay.
219. 2020, Rat Detonator, Devil's Train 2, Crowbot. And 2021, Wasp Electric Circus, Balls Out, Steel Panther, and Bull for My Valentine Fever.
Nice.
So that's BC's picks.
All right, Roddy. What were your bottom 3?
My
Sure,
bottom
we'll be
3.
hearing
My
about
bottom
City
3.
Stars again.
Number 3 was the Bonfire Fireworks Still Alive, 16 explosive hits.
Yeah.
It's just too many ballads on it, and it's just there wasn't really much explosive about it, except for the projectile bomb.
Wow.
My number 2 bottom one is the Quiet Riot self-titled one with Paul Shortino. I really thought
It's his birthday, goddamn.
I know it's my birthday, but I quit.
I really thought I liked that album till I listened to it. I was like, I don't like this. I'm like,
Terrible.
I think there was like 2 songs on it I like. Sorry, BB. It was just and my number 1 bottom one, of course, is David Bowie, Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. I'm not a Bowie guy. I don't get it. I like Major Tom. That's on that, right?
No.
No? Okay.
That's on Space Oddity.
Okay, so then I don't think there was anything I liked on this one. It was okay.
No, Suffragette City.
Suffragette City is okay. Sorry.
Woof. All right. Let me gain my composure here.
Without Bowie, there wouldn't have been the Black Parade. So that's all I got to say.
I got nothing.
All right, my bottom 3, just like Dylan, Massive Wagons, Full Nelson.
Who's leaving now?
and I kind of did what Dylan did. I picked one from each, and BC's I picked Tangier. I just didn't get into it. It was just kind of not my wheelhouse. And Dylan was tough. Dylan's was tough for both not liking and liking. I had to pick Master Dom.
Okay.
Just a little bit too
yeah, I get you.
cookie for me. All right. Well, since we got the bad shit out of the way,
Yes.
Dylan, what are your top 3 picks?
Okay, my top 3. So this was a lot easier. There were a lot of great albums, but there were some that just you had to talk about. So for BB, Boston self-titled, one of the best debut albums of all time, classic album. I never get tired of hearing it. Whenever any of the songs come on the radio, I'm listening to it. I'm not skipping it. Even More Than a Feeling, you just can't not sing along to it. Come on, classic album. For my dad, Rat Detonator, awesome, cool album that I had not listened to. Very different sound for Rat, and I really like it. There's some great stuff on there. Bon Jovi does some background vocals on one of the tracks and kicks ass with it. Heads I Win, Tails You Lose. Love that song. That's probably one of my favorite Rat songs after listening to it. And then for BC, I really love Child's Play, Rat Race. That was a great album. I was very surprised by that. I had no expectations going in listening to that, and it blew me away. So those were my top 3 really great albums that I don't get tired of listening to.
Perfect. Righty.
Okay, I gotta say, when I was getting this list together, I mean, there were some ones that I forgot that we did, like some really standout ones, and picking the bottom 3 was actually way easier than picking the top 3. So I just kind of what I picked was I picked 2 studios and live. But I tied on the live ones. Pretty Maids live at last, and Danger live and nude, because Danger Pretty Maids. There we go. We get the for the episode. But the Danger one, I was thinking back to that episode. I wasn't even aware that this was out. I had never heard it before, and I was blown. I loved it. I thought it was fucking fantastic. And what I did was for my second one, my biggest surprise that I liked. Green Day, American Idiot.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I hear Green Day, I hear, bands like that, I instantly think it's going to suck. and a lot of it does. Don't get me wrong, but I like this album, and when we did the live album that Dylan did, I was disappointed that there were some of the songs on that weren't on the live album. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But my top one, I got a tie for the top one. I loved the Saints and Sinners album from BC. That was fantastic. And I got to do the Ice Nine Kills that Dylan we did a couple episodes ago. I admire them for their craft, their dedication to it. It's insane. That's an insane album. It's fantastic.
Very nice. Mine for Wrighty, this one was tough. It was either between Wasp, Rat, or Kick-Axe, but I went with Kick-Axe just for the sheer factor of, they're not out there compared to the other guys, and there's no skippers for me on that album. BC's was Wasted. Save Your Prayers. I love that album. Love that band. I almost picked a gem song from them today. Dylan, yours was also tough because Crowbot was a front runner. That Royal Blood was a front runner. But I'm like your dad. I picked Ice Nine Kills. And pretty much just like you said, not only musically, but what they had to come up with just to put that album together, all the horror movies and putting a song together, and that's a lot of work, and that deserves a lot of recognition. So guys, there's our episode, our birthday episode. I want to thank you guys here at the table for all my birthday love and finally giving Steve a day off from doing this craziness. And thanks for Dylan for all the hard work he does on this podcast. And thanks for BC for leaving early. It makes it a little easier. But Dylan, why don't you wrap it up for us?
Yeah, happy birthday. Great albums that you picked. And it was cool also looking back to see the albums that we picked throughout the years. I'm sure that if we did include my 2018 picks, my dad's least favorite album would have been different as well, since Weezer was in that episode.
Oh, absolutely.
That would have been a tie for last.
But
he would have had two in the bottom three.
But the birthday, I really like the birthday episodes because we get to listen to albums that we might never have covered on the podcast. Like, would we have talked about Steve Stevens' Atomic Playboys? Probably not. Like, we probably would have talked about Lita Ford at some point. We probably would have maybe talked about Sammy and Steel Panther, but like for albums like that, it's cool to bring them in, and I really like being surprised like that. That's my favorite thing in this podcast is when I listen to an album, I don't have really any expectations, and then I end up getting like really blown away by it. And that's kind of what happened with the Steve Stevens, and it's what happened with Child's Play, Rat Race. I really think that these episodes are good for those little gems that pop up and you're like, oh shit, that's really awesome. Because I never would have listened to, I didn't even know Steve Stevens did solo stuff. I just, I thought he was a guy that was just, the guitar player for
a traveling guitar
else.
player.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really awesome to have that revelation. And you can listen to a lot of the songs that we talked about tonight on our Spotify playlist of the week that will be in the show notes. Check out a lot of the great stuff from Steel Panther, Lita Ford, Sammy, and The Circle, and Steve Stevens. So check that out for sure if you're interested in hearing any of those songs.
Sweet. Righty.
All right, BB, happy birthday. And I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody out there. This will be our episode that comes out before Christmas. And happy birthday to you, BB, and your lovely wife, and Dylan's girlfriend, Christine. You guys have like
right in the row.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think your guys' birthdays are coming up this week. So happy birthday to all three of you ladies. And
got him. Went right over your head.
Yep. But yeah,
ladies. Yeah, I got it.
But I love the birthday episodes, and like I said before, this is the only episode that I really insist that everybody be here for because I like it so everybody gets their shot at the title. And looking at all the albums that we've done from even including 2018. The birthday albums, there were a lot of cool stuff there. Some duds, and I'm guilty of that as well. But for the most part, kick-ass albums, and it does, and it's like we would not have. I'm sure with BC we would have definitely talked about Sabotage at some point, but like Massive Wagons, we wouldn't have. We wouldn't be talking about David Bowie one. We wouldn't be talking about Weezer. We wouldn't be. Thank God. We wouldn't be talking about Green Day. But like, this is like your thing, your birthday. You pick what you want, and I like that about it. And they're fun episodes. I hope everybody has a great Christmas and a happy New Year. And once again, BB, happy birthday, buddy.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, like Steve said, happy holidays to everybody out there, and thanks for checking us out. Give us some shares, give us some love on Facebook. Take care of yourself and each other, and we'll see you next time. There definitely will be next time.